Have you ever wondered which is better to raise for beef, steers, or heifers? Both are raised for meat, but they grow differently, eat differently, and sell for different prices. In this video, we'll compare them side by side. We'll look at the growth rate, feed costs, meat quality, and how much money you can make from each one. To make it easier to understand, we'll use two popular beef breeds, Angus and Hereford, as examples. Whether you're new to farming or just curious about how beef is raised, this video will help you choose the better option. Let's start with growth rate, how fast they gain weight. Steers usually grow faster than heifers. On average, a steer gains about 3.1 to 3.3 pounds per day. A heifer gains a little less, around 2.7 to 2.8 pounds per day. That might not sound like a big difference, but over time, it really adds up. Let's say you feed them both for 150 days, a steer gaining 3.2 pounds per day equals 480 pounds of weight gain, a heifer gaining 2.8 pounds per day equals 420 pounds of weight gain. That's a 60-pound difference, just from daily growth. Steers also finish at a heavier weight. They often reach between 1,250 and 1,400 pounds before slaughter. Heifers usually finish lighter, about 1,100 to 1,250 pounds. Why does this matter? Because the heavier the animal, the more meat you can sell, and usually the more money you make. So when it comes to growing faster and reaching a bigger size, steers have the advantage. Now let's talk about feed efficiency, how well an animal turns feed into weight. This is really important because feed makes up 60 to 70% of the total cost of raising beef cattle. Between the two, steers are usually more feed efficient than heifers. That means they gain more weight using less feed. Here's a simple example. A steer might need 6.5 pounds of feed to gain 1 pound of weight. A heifer might need around 7 pounds to gain the same 1 pound. Let's say you give 650 pounds of feed to both animals. The steer gains exactly 100 pounds. The heifer gains about 93 pounds. That may not seem like much, but over time and across a whole herd, it adds up. Now let's talk cost. If feed costs about 15 cents per pound, here's the difference. 650 pounds of feed equals $97.50. The steer gains 100 pounds. The feed cost per pound of gain equals 97.5 cents. The heifer gains 93 pounds. The feed cost per pound of gain equals about $1.05. So the heifer costs around 7.5 cents more per pound of gain. Over hundreds of pounds or dozens of animals, that's a big difference. So when it comes to feed efficiency, steers give you more bang for your buck. But what about meat quality and carcass value? Let's look at carcass quality, how the meat turns out once the animal is processed. This includes things like how much usable meat you get, the fat-to-meat ratio, and how well it grades. Steers generally produce heavier carcasses with a higher meat yield. On average, a finished steer yields a carcass weight of about 850 pounds. A heifer yields around 775 pounds. That's about 75 pounds more meat from the steer. But it's not just about size. Quality matters too. Heifers tend to develop marbling, those little white fat streaks inside the meat, a bit sooner than in steers. This can help them score better on the USDA grading scale, especially in breeds like Angus, which are known for top quality beef. USDA quality grades, example scores. So while steers give you more total meat, heifers may give you slightly better marbling, and that can mean a better eating experience for the customer. Quick tip: steers produce more meat and greater weight. Heifers provide more marbling, and slightly better tenderness. But overall, both animals can produce high-quality beef, especially when fed well and processed at the right time. So, if you're focused on quantity, steers win. But if you're after high-end meat, a well-finished heifer can definitely compete. Now let's talk about something every farmer cares about: market price. In most cases, steers bring in more money than heifers. That's because steers usually weigh more at the time of sale, produce bigger carcasses, and they are more in demand from buyers. Example: prices based on 2025 USDA market data, finished steer, $3.50 per pound carcass weight. Finished heifer, $3.36 per pound carcass weight. Now, let's do the math. A steer with an 850-pound carcass at $3.50 per pound yields $2,975. A heifer with a 775-pound carcass at $3.36 per pound yields $2,604. That's a $371 difference per animal. And remember, this doesn't even include the extra feed cost or slightly lower efficiency of the heifer. Even though a heifer might grade slightly better, it usually isn't enough to outweigh the higher value of the heavier steer. Now, some niche markets like grass-fed or premium Angus beef. But in general, at standard feedlots and auctions across the US, steers are more profitable. So if you're raising cattle to sell for the most money, steers usually give you the better return. Now let's talk about how long it takes to raise steers and heifers, and how breed choice plays a big role. Most beef cattle in the US are finished and ready for slaughter between 14 and 24 months of age. Slaughter age steers are usually finished at 16 to 20 months, depending on feed and breed. Heifers often finish a little earlier, around 15 to 18 months. This is because heifers mature slightly faster, but remember, they're also smaller at finish. But age isn't the only factor. Breed matters too. Let's take two common beef breeds, Angus and Hereford. Angus, known for fast growth, excellent marbling, and high-quality meat. Steers finish at around 1,300 to 1,400 pounds. Heifers finish at 1,150 to 1,250 pounds. Hereford, more moderate growth, hardy and calm, with decent meat quality. Steers finish at 1,250 to 1,350 pounds. Heifers at 1,100 to 1,200 pounds. So even within breeds, steers tend to grow heavier than heifers before they're ready for market. If you're choosing between breeds, Angus steers are often the top pick for premium beef markets. Herefords are a great option for farms focused on easy handling and adaptability. And no matter which breed you choose, steers usually give you more weight and more profit per animal. But what if you're a small farmer or raising cattle for home use? If you're a small farmer, a homesteader, or just raising beef for your family, the choice between steers and heifers depends on your goals and setup. Let's break it down. Why steers might be better. They grow larger, giving you more beef per animal. More feed efficient, meaning you get better returns for your feed cost. Easier to manage long-term, since they don't go into heat like heifers do. If you're planning to sell beef by the pound or by the freezer, steers give you more product and are more consistent in size. Why heifers might work better for you. Slightly cheaper to buy as calves. Ready a bit sooner, which can shorten the time you need to feed and finish them. Smaller size can be easier to handle if you're new to livestock or working alone. And here's a tip. Some small farmers actually prefer heifers because the carcasses fit better in home freezers, and the meat is often more tender if processed at the right time. So if you want more meat and more resale value, go with a steer. But if you want less feed time, easier handling, or just enough beef for your own freezer, a well-finished heifer might be just right. So, when it comes to raising beef, which is better, steers or heifers? Let's quickly recap. Steers grow faster, eat more efficiently, and usually bring in more money at the market. Heifers finish sooner, may offer better marbling, and can be a smart choice for small farms or home beef. If your goal is maximum profit and meat yield, steers are usually the better investment. But if you're focused on shorter finishing times, smaller carcass sizes, or raising just 1 or 2 animals for your own use, a heifer can be just as valuable, especially if you process her at the right time. No matter which one you choose, good care, quality feed, and proper timing make all the difference. So pick what works best for your setup and enjoy the rewards of raising healthy beef. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out more livestock comparisons on our channel.